I'm Ryan Marr, and I am a guitar player and composer, and I live in Portland, Oregon. But and I also direct some big bands, so I'm not just going to talk to the rhythm section. I'll talk to you guys too. I have been coming to this festival since I was in middle school. So it's cool to see you guys here that many years later. I don't know how many years that's been, but a while. It's like I think the 56th annual one, so you guys are part of a long legacy of people that come to the Reno Jazz Festival. Thanks for being a part of it. I can tell you guys are having fun. You're still having fun. I can also tell you guys you're ready to go. So I'll try to make this short and sweet for you guys. Also, should remind you that they post the scores in the Church Fine Arts building, and the ensembles that are going to play the student showcase get announced at 5:30. So if you want to catch that, that's where you find that, Church Fine Arts. And let's hand out some hardware. Us adjudicators thought there were notable performances from Marissa on alto.
Woo!
Yeah, Marissa.
Yeah, Marissa.
And Christian on bone.
Yes, Christian.
Good work, guys. And there were some other notable performances. I hope to bring them up as we go through some of my notes here. But in general, I like to start with you guys. How do you guys think it went? It went okay. Not a lot of enthusiasm there.
I mean, it was good.
Cool. But
Yeah.
and then you want to say things. So that's good. That's how I start off. Let's start with some positive things that you think went well. And I'm looking for specific musical things that went well. It could be individually, it could be as a section, it could be as a band. What do you think went well? Yeah, you can just I appreciate the hand up, but you can just say stuff. So what would you say? The sax?
The pickup to the beginning over the sax is sounding.
The pickup to A train? Okay. What else? What else went well?
Entrances and releases, connection to dynamics.
Okay. Entrances and releases. So you're saying like they're together, like everyone started ba and everyone stopped together,
Yeah,
and then in connection with dynamics?
yeah, like everyone said the dynamics well.
Okay, cool. A couple more. I'd like to see some of that enthusiasm that you walked in here with. Tell me some things that went well. How about in the rhythm session? Anything go well?
We don't lose the form.
You did not lose a form. That is a positive.
Yes.
Has that happened? Has that been a problem?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of been a rotating rhythm section.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. Well, good job then. All right, is that Jerry Garcia tag? It is.
Yeah.
What are some things we can work on? Intonation, okay.
I was gonna say intonation.
And are you referring to the ensemble as a whole, or yourself, or your section?
My section.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes I do the ensemble.
Uh-huh.
And then like myself.
Okay, cool. I think that's how intonation works. I think it's all of us. I mean, even if you have perfect intonation, perfect intonation, there's no such thing, by the way, it's all a sham. But you should be in tune with each other. If you have perfect intonation and no one's matching you, then like you don't have perfect intonation anymore, right? I'm just looking at you, but it goes for every single person. So we have to like learn how to adjust intonation on our own so that we can adjust intonation together. And I hope to get to some sessions where we can do that, so intonation will be good. What else do you think you guys might see some improvement on? Yeah?
Sometimes the brass should work on balancing their sound more.
Good, okay. So explore that a little bit. What do you mean by balance the sound more?
I guess like less noise from the first and more of like an entire sectional noise.
I like noise. That's a
Yeah.
good word for music. Noise. Sound, perhaps. Noise sort of has a negative connotation, but I know what you mean. No, it's okay. We're learning stuff. I knew what you meant. But we want strong leaders, certainly. But you need your followers to follow. That's part of being leaders. You got to get your followers to follow. So good. That would be good. And also, you know, are you section leader? You're in the section leader chair, so good. You know, if you're leading your section and they're following, because you guys are good followers, you also have to balance it with the guys behind you, the guys in front of you, the guys over there, the guys and girls, whatever. So good, yeah, blending, that's, and how about one more? Just something that we can maybe improve on.
Dynamics.
Okay, what about them specifically? That's a good word to improve on, but
Like when we have like a crescendo and then a decrescendo, like we need to make sure we get quiet enough as well as we can like.
okay, I like the hands, this is good.
Yeah, you get come from the lows instead of just having everybody crescendo the same volume
Uh-huh.
for the same amount of time.
Okay, I mean, you do want to do that, but yeah.
I say time.
Time.
Like if we start fast and then gradually just like start slowing down and then get back up on speed and stuff like that.
I didn't notice a lot of time deficiencies, but there were certain rhythmic inaccuracies that were probably there. Yeah. What do you think about dynamics is what we're talking about right
Our transitions from a high dynamic to a low dynamic.
now? Okay, they could be what? Better? What would make those better, the transitions?
Knowing what the volume level or how high or loud or soft you need to play in order.
That's it. Yeah.
Or you say having enough air.
Air control for sure. I noticed that in the first tune. But I think knowing where you're supposed to go, that's the key to the whole thing. In general, I heard crescendos and I heard decrescendos, but they were within a very thin band of dynamics. Your performance went from mezzo forte to mezzo piano. It was kind of just medium all the time, but it would vary slightly with crescendos. I want to hear peaks all the way to really loud, okay? And everywhere in between, controlling those. That will make the performance more exciting for you and for the ensemble. So those are some good things to think about, what you did well, what to work on. That's a good process for yourself in your own practice, so that, you know, this is Jazz Band 2. If you're thinking about moving up to Jazz Band 1, the self isn't shaking your head no. So, okay, well that's a thing. But you know, self-analyzation, like what am I doing well? Okay, good. I can probably make that a little stronger. What can be improved? Okay, this is an area that I need to improve. How do I improve it? That's the next thing. We identified some things. We said dynamics. Okay, well, what about dynamics? We need to know more of our range of dynamics and like what louds are and what softs are. Okay, good. You've identified the problem. Now, how do you fix it? That's the next thing, and it requires individual practice as well as ensemble practice. So good. Let's play some music. A-Train. That's good. I can't read music. A stronger start is the first thing I wrote. So someone said maybe A-Train started well, and I disagree. I think we could start that stronger. And I have a feeling that nerves might have played a factor. Nerves are gone, so let's see what it sounds like now. I don't know if this is the tempo you guys play, but this is a good A-Train tempo.
Yeah.
1, 2, top. Good, so some of the stuff I heard throughout is creeping up already. In general, the start was a little stronger this time, so did you guys feel that? Did it feel a little stronger at the start? Okay, you were focused more, less nervous. Those are things that you deal with. The more that you do this, the better you get in control of those things that happen. If you don't get nervous anymore when you play music, it's because you're dead. You will always be nervous when you play music, because the more you do it, the more you learn how to deal with it. So, rhythmic accuracy is something that I think we need to strive towards right now. Everyone know where their solar plexus is? The breadbasket, if you will, right below your rib cage. That's where I want you to feel the beat for this next intro that we're going to play. Not just the beat, the pulse, which you're laying down well, but subdivisions of the beat. This is a swing feel, so we can triplets are pretty close to swing feel. It doesn't matter the tempo. We can subdivide the tempo. If it was like here, 1, 2, 1, I can still feel the subdivisions right here, even at fast tempos. This isn't a particularly fast tempo. It's like what we're going to medium up. Everyone feel it here. So bill-yada, 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 bill-yada. 1, top, 2, up. 1, 2. That already for me feels a lot more swinging. Do you guys feel that by any chance? Yeah, you guys all had like a clock in synchronicity right there. Everyone was feeling it, and that's important. I have Jaden. Are you feeling it? Because that intro hasn't been quite right yet. That's maybe the most iconic part of the tune, is that so I want to hear that roll a little bit clearer, and rhythmically, I mean, I want you feeling that. We're going to come back to that, but that's an area I think for you to work on specifically, Jaden. Let's see what else I got here. You had some crescendos, but you know, I think maybe it didn't start the way it ended in general, just like as a vibe from the ensemble, because you're playing lead on this one. Who is lead on this? You are. Okay. I heard crescendos, but in the saxes, and it was good, but I didn't hear it from the lead. It was like this kind of weird chord because I didn't hear the lead voice. So that's something to think about too. You know, if you're leading, you gotta lead, and so like maybe second tenor is like in lead dynamically. I don't know if you felt that, but nice solo. Ooh, wait, solo. Yeah, nice solo. Play out though. You weren't playing out. I love that you're improvising. In fact, there were a bunch of improvised solos in this song, right? We took a solo in this song. Great. All very good solos, good ideas, and I love that you're improvising. There was a little bit of timidity. What's the worst that could happen when you take your solo? Like chemical warfare in Syria will happen because you played A flat when you weren't supposed to. Like no one will die if you play the wrong notes. So at least just get out there and play. What's the worst that could happen, right? Even your answers. It's like, I don't know. What's the worst that could happen? What's the worst that could happen when you take a bad solo? Nothing. It'll be fine. So, and not just you, other soloists too. Step out and show us what you got. It already started to even out. It started to fix itself, but I was feeling like the swing feel was very vertical. Ding, 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 ding. And swing should be a little bit more lateral. Ding, back to ding, back to ding, back to, like the swing. It's more of like a wave as opposed to like sawtooth mountains or something. Like it's not going up and down, it's going like this way. Okay, that's how the swing feel feels. And I think when all of us were thinking about that, it was already starting to even out a little bit. So swing is weird. It's not triplets, it's not 16th notes, it's like somewhere in between. It's just a feeling. It's a feeling that we have. So good. Let's play the other one, the second one, Watch Her Walk Away. That was a cool programming choice. Was this one your favorite to play?
Yeah.
I can tell.
Yeah,
I can always tell.
I was gonna stand up.
It might have been the same symptom. the rhythmic accuracy wasn't super strong to start, cross sections. What's the tempo? Subdivision.
Sometimes I kick up a little fast.
Like how fast can you go with your subdivisions that are accurate? Yeah, nice. Yeah, if you're feeling that, great. Then you have a good clock. At the least. So let's start from the top. 1, feel it. 2, 1, 2, 3. Sounding like one thing. It's kind of sounding like a few broken things. So maybe it needs a little bit more work in the woodshed in the practice room for individually. But I'm not getting the sense that you're feeling when the horns came in, that was starting to feel better. And then the melody was there for a while and started to get away. And it's kind of a nightmare melody on the trumpet. It's very intervallic, which is hard on the trumpet, I know. But that's the gig, so gotta deal with it. Yeah, I have a note of more dynamic contrast. Marissa? Who's Marissa? Yeah, right. Great solo. One thing that I thought could take you to the next level is a little more rhythmic diversity. When you're soloing, what does that mean? Rhythmic diversity. Different kinds of rhythms. Let's go to your solo. Yeah, and this, if you take a solo in this band, this is kind of for you too, but let's go to what, I don't have the score. What?
Was it 47?
46.
Yeah, kind of similar.
Okay. 1, 2, here's 46.
So far, but you're already starting to do. I'm craving a little more rhythmic diversity.
Okay.
But that was good. Like you had range in your solo, you know, like kind of. So you're doing some really great stuff improvisationally, but long notes are fine too. Right, like there's some 16th notes in there. I have long notes, short notes. And if this is our pulse, can we do things like triplets to get it like da 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 da. I heard you try to do like kind of a faster run. It sort of came out, so that that just takes a little practice to get some more fast stuff going. You don't have to play fast all the time, but it's just when you play fast, that's rhythmic diversity. Because now you got like faster lines, right? So that's some stuff for you all for later when you solo. I want to hear, before I cut you loose, I want to hear a little bit of backlash. The ending could have been tighter. Rhythm section didn't have much dynamics in general on this one, on backlash. And Brandon played bass on this?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, cool. You know who James Jamerson is?
No.
Okay. If you ever listened to music, that you've heard James Jamerson, I promise. He's on more #1 hits. It's like over 400 #1 hits or something like that. And he's the bass player for the Motown era, and he's an iconic bass player. I think he's a player that is not necessarily a household name, but everyone knows his music. So there are great clips on YouTube where they have taken like Marvin Gaye or Gladys Knight and the Pips or something like that, and they take out the vocals, and you can just hear like just the bass, and it's so great, man. So James Jamerson, tell me his name again.
James Jamerson.
James Jamerson. Just YouTube that and look for like solo tracker, you know probably how to find some stuff like that. It's some of the greatest groove bass playing. The reason I wrote that name down is because I heard maybe some spots where you were playing a nice groove, but you could have played some subtle bass fills that add interest, and it gets everyone connected, even though they may not be like paying attention to it. It just adds to it. But good job holding it down, in general. Cool. Let's go from the top. There's not a lot of time. Top 2. Wait, I don't remember tempo.
A little faster. That's good.
1, 2, I did have your name memorized. Sorry. Nib Tom. That's right, Nib. What's the name of that group? It's sort of a boogaloo. That's the Cold Sweat groove. Do you know Cold Sweat? Google it. YouTube. It's James Brown. Does everyone know who James Brown? Shake your head. Yes. James Brown is. Yes. Okay, good. Everyone is now only going to listen to James Brown for the next week. That's all you listen to. Hardest working man in show business, James Brown. That's the Cold Sweat groove, and I like what you're doing, man. I can tell that you can keep time and you have a fair amount of facility. I can also tell that you're not really listening to the music like it's yours. You know, you might every once in a while put something on passively on Pandora or something like that, but that's not owning the music. And you're not the only one, so I don't mean to pick on. I think you'll hear the adjudicators on the tapes later say similar things. Own this music, make it yours. Okay. Thanks so much for listening to me blabber on. It was really fun. You guys have a great day.
You say